7 figures in the bank account. Ain't no money.
With these new buffs and character drops in OPBR, the runner meta is at an all-time low. We've never needed a runner more than we need a runner now. So today I'll be dropping my top 10 runner list in OPBR and the best list I can possibly make up. But yeah, let's go and get straight into this video and let's go over the top 10 best runners in OPBR. Alright, number one for me right now is Sabo. I think Sabo is probably the best runner in the game right now, right in front of number two. They're extremely close. But I think Sabo takes the number one spot for me personally, because since Kizaru is no longer in meta, Sabo is easily the best runner that I can think of for my number one, other than of course number two. With his counter, Sabo can be elite. The only real character you have to watch out for is Whitebeard and Nishiro. Those are the only two counters as a Sabo main you have to be careful of. Even in my experience with the Whitebeard, you can still compete. With Nishiro, you have to watch out for his skill 1. Past that, Sabo is elite and barely any counters in the game currently. And with Zoro Sanji currently running the meta with Nishiro, run an attack and Fire Fist rook check with Sabo completely destroys Zoro Sanji, which is why I think he's so worthy of that number one spot. Sabo also has amazing mobility as a runner, and like I mentioned a second ago, the counter really boosts him up to that number one spot for me personally. Then for my number two spot, we're going to jump straight into Gear 5v2. I think Gear 5v2 is easily the second best runner in the game right now, with his versatility of being able to be an attacker and being able to go cap flags. When the dark meta was up, Luffy took a big step down because he couldn't be played as an attacker anymore, and he had to be really cautious because it was a dark meta. But as the meta has over time shifted back towards more of the center of the three colors, Luffy has had a massive resurface, especially after the Zoro Sanji rebanner. You can now play Luffy as an attacker again, which makes his character one of the best in the entire game. Gum Gun Don Rocket, whenever you cap a flag in small form, you get your skill 1, and this goes to any flag in the game. Hold down until it launches you to go to the farthest flag away, and then you can hold down, go to, I believe, to the closest flag. But yeah, that ability is amazing and makes him one of the best runners in the entire game ever. And then Gum Gum Star Gun with attack and a little bit of the right support. This can be such a good ability for Luffy easily. Run Warlord on him and the stats effects is crazy. Then going into his Gum Gum Giant form, Freeform Spirit and his Giant Head form makes him an elite runner. With the Fist of Freedom, allows him to have that attack side as well, same in a small form. This is what makes Luffy such a versatile character and easily takes my number two spot as the second best runner in the game. For my number three spot, I am going to put King V1. I think King V1 is easily worthy of number three spot. He is still an amazing runner. With Kizaru even out of the meta, it actually kind of gave him a little bit of a buff, even though Zoro Sanji still does have that tornado move that does that multi-hit. However though, King is an amazing runner. You really only have to watch out for that Zoro Sanji, that Whitebeard, or any character that does multi-hit. Maybe it's in Goku, believe it or not, Pika. But yeah, this character is amazing. Great mobility with I'll split you in two and then I'll send you to a watery grave is another amazing ability. And then of course, what makes King so special is his Aflame, which gives you that invincibility up to, like, you can get hit a full of 3 times the full hit combo. It's nasty. It allows him to cap so many flags. Easily worthy of my number 3 spot for best runner in the game. I don't think there's many people that are better than him right now, other than the 2 I listed before him. At the number 4 spot, I am going to put Trafalgar Winter Island Law. I think this Law is one of the best runners to ever grace this game. Unfortunately, the meta is not completely in his favor right now, but he is an absolute dog. I mean, genuinely, I've always said it and I will always say this no matter what the meta is. A good Law is the best character in the entire game. A good Law main will literally ruin your entire game. I will stand on that forever. The Law has a extremely high skill ceiling, but when you hit that skill ceiling, you're the best you can be with Law. You're one of the best characters in the game, no matter who you are. Just the fact of how good his counter can be, it's insanity. His K-Room Shock Willy, an amazing ability. Knockback Chambers literally has saved about 40 games, you know, in the past 100 games I've played. Like, when I tell you Law is so good, Law is so good. You cannot go wrong with this character at all. That's really all I need to say about that Law. His counter, once you master his counter, you're easily, you put yourself in the best characters in the whole entire game list easily. And I will stand on that until the day I die. Winter Island Trafalgar Law is easily worthy of number 4 spot, no doubt in my mind. And then number 5, we're actually gonna go straight over to Dark Roger. While yes, Dark Roger can get hit off flag by a lot of people, he is still extremely good. In the right games, nobody can get him off flag, and it almost seems like he's just doing whatever he wants. And a runner that has that capability is easily going to be put in my top 10 list, no doubt. You can only risk death while you're still alive. Another really good ability to inflict knockback and get that flag open and give you that chance to win that game for your team. So Roger is going to be easily worthy of my number 5 spot. All right, going into my number 6, I am going to do EX Kaido. A lot of people may think he could be lower on the list, which I think is fair, but I really like Kaido. I think with a good skill 1 set, he can be absolutely just annoying. His Entertain Me does a lot of damage, and I think it's a little underappreciated on the amount of damage this skill does. And with the skill 1, like I said, a good skill 1 set plus the amount of traits this man has for his skill 1 makes him insanity. It's unreal. He's just flying around the map 24/7, capping flags. An amazing runner. I also think he's a little underrated. I barely ever see him anymore, which it sucks to see because of how good this Kaido can really be. But yeah, easily worthy of my number 6 spot. But let me know who you put here if it's anybody else. All right, and going into my number 7 spot, I am going to do Doc Q. I think Doc Q is one of the best runners in the game, which is crazy coming from me because I used to really downplay this guy, and I've been able to see my teammates play with him. I've been able to see my, enemies I'm going against play with them, and it's really changed my mind on how good this character is. Okay, let's go stronger. And how about one or both really good abilities? I personally do not know too much about this character, but it's my list, and I kind of have to go off what I see and what I go against. And Doc Q's got to take my number 7 spot, because I think he is an amazing runner, and I think he is extremely undervalued. For my number 8, I am going to do the big genius scientist Vegapunk. I think this runner does its job, and I think that's what makes him at my number 8. Vegapunk probably is the one runner that I think when you go into a game, only thing on your mind is running, because this guy has no attack. He's only good on flag, but damn, when he is on flag, this runner is annoying. It's a great runner. His car ability, Vegatank, is also really good. Holograms, all right, but Vegatank is really solid. Really good mobility, allows you to get to other flags, and like I said, once you're on flag with Vegapunk, it's hard to get him off it. And yeah, that's basically the only reason I'm putting him at 8 is because of his mobility and his able to, when he's on flag, be a crazy good runner. It's Vegapunk. I mean, he does his job as he runs, and that's exactly what he's meant to do. I think that's what gives him that number 8 spot for me. And then for my number 9 spot, I'm actually going to go straight down to the GOAT himself, Light Fuji. I think Light Fuji is a fantastic runner. Unfortunately, he's not really in meta anymore. He is a fantastic runner, but not fantastic in this meta. But he still can be used, and I think a lot of people sleep on Fujitoro personally. I think people forget that he has amazing mobility. He drops meteors on the flag, which does really good, especially against like King or something. If they give this guy a buff and allow the meteors to go on every single flag, allow him to get a little bit more damage reduction to be able to survive a little bit more, this runner, especially and it resists knockback, Light Fuji would be probably one of the best runners in the game with just a little buff if Tandy does it right. Yeah, all I'm saying is don't sleep on a Light Fuji. If you have him level 100, good medals on this man, Light Fuji can still, be a half decent runner. So I just would like to say, don't sleep on my boy Light Fuji at all, because I think he can be really good. And then for my number 10 spot, I am going to do Neji. Neji or Niji, whatever it is, it's going to be tied with my honorable mention, but I'll say him in a second. Neji's still really good. You could argue putting him higher on this list, which I think is perfectly fair to do. I just think he's really took a big step back. As he's a bounty fest. He's not really meant to be always in meta, and I think that's normal. I think he had an amazing run. I think he could still be good, but at this point in meta, I don't really see Nejis anymore. I don't really see them causing a problem. If I go against one, it's pretty simple, pretty easy to deal with. The best thing I know that this guy can do is inflict stun on King and take away his flame. But at this point, He just he's not as meta as much as he was, but he's still a good runner. I still think he can do great. And I think putting him above Light Fuji is perfectly fair. Even I might change that now that I'm thinking about it. You could probably put him above Light Fuji, but 9 and 10, you know, very flip-flop. You know, I think he's very, very good. Good abilities, good traits. It's just he's at a point in the meta where he's just not as good anymore. And then for my honorable mention, call me crazy, and I was very, very tempted to put this man in top 10 after I've learned to play with him, and I dropped the character guide yesterday. He's my boy Lucy. I mean, come on now. Lucy is an absolute dog, and I think people are downplaying Lucy. This man is good. You just have to play good, be on flag, you know, cap treasures above 70% HP to stay invisible, and Lucy can be a dog. So don't sleep on him, but that's going to be my honorable mention for this list. Alright, y'all, that is going to be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was awesome to make, really, really fun. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what you would change. If you want to leave a sub, please do. It means the absolute world. So have a blessed day, blessed night, blessed evening, y'all. And God bless. Have a good one. Peace out.